Hey Scorpio, welcome to your weekly forecast for July 22 through the 28th. We are going to check in here and see what's happening with the energies for the week ahead for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We have our summer ocean theme still going here. We've got another little mermaid deck here. And as always, guys, we're going to see what's going on for you for the week ahead. And then at the end, I'm going to pull a spirit message for you from a different deck. Here's your Monday, Tuesday, Scorpio, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. See what is coming up for Scorpio. All right, so we're starting off the week with some powerful energy here, Scorpio. You have Ace of Swords coming up. So that being said, a lot is happening here with ideas and plans. We recently had that partial lunar eclipse in Capricorn in the beginning of last week. And that's an energy that's going to stick with us for a while. I think for a lot of us through the next 6 months. And a lot of that energy is helping us kind of just refigure out our life, move things around, figure out how we want things to happen. An Ace of Swords for me, the creator of this particular deck, she has it listed as victory. If you see that right there, it says victory. These are her little interpretations of the cards. So this is a really great deck if you're trying to learn the cards and you have a hard time memorizing them. She has little keywords at the bottom of each one, and she describes this as a victory. For me, when I see Ace of Swords in a reading, it gives me the sense or the feeling that the person I'm reading for is about to have some epiphany, like some revelation, somewhere where your thinking needed to be adjusted because something was foggy or you had some kind of a mental block. It's being removed. It's coming out of the way. And you're able to see clearly and you're able to advance. Now, in this deck, she has the sharks as a symbol for the swords. And sharks are very, very powerful animals, right? Sharks are very good about pouncing on an opportunity, right? They're very opportunistic. And we think of that word as humans, and we see it as like a negative thing. Sometimes like, oh, look at this person, they're such an opportunist, they're opportunistic, like they just see something and they jump on it. But that can be a really positive quality, Scorpio. So I feel that for a lot of you, something is happening in the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, where something is being offered to you unexpectedly and you're jumping on it. But you're having this brief moment where there's some kind of a switch that's going off in your head, where there's a moment of mental growth, a moment of ascension, where like the old you wouldn't think that way, or the old you wouldn't have recognized that this was an opportunity and you wouldn't have jumped in on it. And here you are in the energy of, you know what, I'm jumping in on this, I'm doing this, I'm going for it, and you're approaching it from a different way that you might typically have approached these kinds of things. I feel something is happening with this opportunity, Scorpio. I'm hearing catapult. It's catapulting you into something bigger. It's like your little way into a situation, and it's going to end up being long-term a very successful project or job or idea or opportunity for you. That's going to be long-lasting. That's what it feels like to me. Your Wednesday, Thursday card. Ooh, you've got Seven of Pentacles, potential. Okay, so the reason why I said ooh is because it confirmed for me what I was feeling in my intuition. I was like, I feel like something is happening that is gonna be a long-term thing for you, that's gonna bring you like fruits of your labor, or a way of like being seen. And Seven of Pentacles is like a long-term project. You know, here she has it listed as potential. This is an opportunity that's coming up that it depends on your attitude around it, what you put into it, and how you're dealing with it. But it can really, really grow over time. And I'm just seeing this sense or this feeling. I'm getting a visual of this woman, and she's just like singing. She's singing, and everybody's like just kind of looking at her, and she's just has a very, I can't sing, I can't mimic what I'm seeing or hearing in my mind. But I feel, Scorpio, that this is a symbolic kind of visual that Spirit is giving me to tell me You know, maybe some of you are literally doing something around singing, but more so I feel it's symbolic that the angels and guides are telling me, Scorpio, that you are doing something that is allowing you to be in a leading role, like in a spot where you're being heard. It's like you're the center of attention here in the situation. You're the one that people are looking at, or like it's all about you, whatever this is. So for some of you Scorpios, that Ace of Swords, that old thinking that you're having to break out of, some of you have a very hard time with attention. Some of you have a very hard time being the center of attention, or receiving praise, or receiving credit, and you're going to have to get over that, because I'm hearing, Scorpio, that this is your time to shine. And this project is going to be something that is going to have a lot of opportunities of growth for you. So there's going to be some challenging moments. Seven of Pentacles, usually we see in other decks, it's this person and they're in a field and they're wiping the sweat off their brow because they're very tired. They're like they've been working really hard. And so what it's telling you is that you are going to have fruit growing, but this is a long-term project. It may start off as like a labor of love, but it's laying down the foundation to bring you fruit in the future. What you have to do to succeed the next few months, whatever this is that's coming in, you need to remind yourself, Scorpio, to take a feeling of playfulness with it, to take breaks, to maybe break up the time and focus on other projects in between, or take a vacation or take some time off. Make sure that you're making time for you. You don't want to keep stressing and pushing this and trying to make it grow faster than it actually can, because these seeds need time to grow. But whatever it is, it's putting you in the forefront. Okay, for a lot of you, this has to do with leadership, taking control, being seen. Okay, it's very, very powerful energy. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is Two of Swords. So you're coming at a crossroads. And you know what this is, Scorpio? I just heard, don't shoot yourself in the foot. I just heard, don't shoot yourself in the foot. This is so classic. Oh my goodness, like this always happens when we're at this really big breakthrough. And you guys, I'm sure you've had it happen where like on one moment you're like on top of the world, you're so enthusiastic, you're so positive, you're so excited, and it could be even minutes, not even a day or two later, it could be within minutes, all of a sudden you start feeling like, oh, but who am I kidding? This isn't going to work out. It never works out. Or somebody comes along and says something and bursts your bubble. And they're like, oh, okay, all right. Like, you think that you're going to somehow like be more successful than other people, or you think life is that easy, or they might say something that makes you feel stupid for believing in yourself, or makes you feel stupid for believing in this idea. And so you might get this fear where you're afraid to move forward. All of a sudden you're like, oh, but like I'm scared to do this now. Well, the good thing about it, Scorpio, is I do feel a way for you not to get stuck in this cycle this time around is that whatever it is in the beginning to midweek, you've already started it. So some of you have already signed the contract. And I know a lot of people say don't sign contracts during Mercury retrograde. It's a horrible time to do that. Don't make agreements. That's a complex subject. I am not an astrology expert by any means. I'm very, very open about that. I don't pretend to know more than I actually do, especially about astrology. But from my understanding and from what I've read, a lot of it depends on your chart and what's going on at the time, and where your planets are. And there's going to be times, guys, come on, we have to be practical. We have to look at the situation and realize that we can't always put our life on hold for Mercury retrograde. If you've been job hunting for like months and your dream job calls, you can't call and tell them, oh, you know what, I'd love to have the job, but can you wait until the mid of August for me to start, for me to sign the contract? Chances are they're going to say, no, you need to come in and you need to start now. So it's not that easy just to say that, oh, I can't start something, or I have to wait until after Mercury retrograde. Some of you are really freaking out about that. Some opportunity came your way and you're like, oh my goodness, like what if it doesn't work out because of the Mercury retrograde or whatever. And so Two of Swords is saying you have to come out of that fear. Okay, Seven of Pentacles told you you're going to get back what you put in. You're going to get back what you put in is what you're going to get out of it. So this is something that can be successful, but it's going to be long term. And that negative ego or negative friends and negative family might be coming in and discouraging you by the end of the week to where you're afraid to move forward. You started off all excited, all optimistic, like, yeah, victory, let's go, let's do this. Okay, wow, this is going to be a lot of work. And then by the time you get to the end of the week, you're like, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I can keep going. But like I said, the good thing is that it's already started. It's like the ball is already in motion to where it's like, okay, you got to see this through now. You can't just walk away from it. You can't just step away from it. But do what you can, my darlings, to realize and understand that the more kind of your mind is being negative about it, or the more there's maybe people around you that are discouraging you, chances are you are super close to a massive breakthrough, a massive moment of success, a massive moment of ascension. And that negative ego is doing whatever it can to stop you from achieving that. So you're closer than you realize to a really big, long-lasting change in your life. Let's check out your spirit message. And we're using another ocean deck here. And as always, I'll have the deck info in the description of the video. Be sure to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos too, guys, because some weeks those are going to resonate with you more than others, or they might add some extra little details for you. Okay, so you have 51, and it says the Hooper. The one principle that runs through the universe flows in the waves of the sea. So this is really cool, and I'm going to tell you why. This really confirmed a lot of the energies that came into your reading. And so now we're going to break it down with the angel numbers and all that good stuff. You have 51 on this card. 5 is the number of big karmic changes happening, breaking karmic cycles, having breakthroughs, having these big shifts. And what did I say? There's shifts happening for you in this week, Scorpio, and that 5 is confirming it. 1, when we put 1 next to a number, it can sometimes be emphasizing it and saying, pay attention, 5 big changes coming, pay attention to these big changes. It's emphasizing it. Now, if we take these numbers and we reduce them, which they do with the numbers a lot of the times, especially in numerology, if you say 5 plus 1, it equals 6. And 6 is an angel number. I'm not sure too much about numerology, but it's an angel number that can indicate sometimes that too much emphasis has been put on a financial success. So maybe you've been judging yourself of how successful you are in life based on what's in your bank account, or what your job title is, or how much you're making. Or maybe in relationships with your loved ones, you've been bleeding out a lot of money because you've been trying to show that you care about them. Or like maybe you're the kind of person, a birthday comes and you give the biggest gift, not to show off, not because you're trying to act like you have more money than you do, but because you feel like, well, I have to show how much I care about this person by giving them something very big, or giving them something very special. Or there's an argument or things like that, and you make it up by maybe taking somebody out, or maybe somebody's doing that to you. They're giving you more of the material stuff more than the emotional stuff. And so 6 is asking you to find the balance between material things and emotional connection, emotional intimacy, right? Like being connected, being expressive in that way. So I think the reason why this is coming up for a lot of you Scorpios is you're about to have a really big financial breakthrough. And I've said this in other videos in the past. Sometimes one of the reasons why we don't receive our abundance when we want it, or when we feel like, oh my goodness, I need it, why isn't it here yet, is because we're still in an overly generous energy where we give too much to other people. And Spirit knows that if they bless us with our abundance now, everyone around us is going to see our good fortune and come running around and telling us their sad stories, and we're going to feel bad for them, and we're going to want to help everybody, and before you know it, we're broke again, right? Because we don't have those boundaries in place just yet. And so this is asking you to realize that money does not equal you caring about somebody. You can care about someone and not, break the bank for them. You can care about someone and not have to show them in a financial way. And so a lot of you are finding this balance because this abundance is about to come in for you. What did this say again? The one principle that runs through the universe flows in the waves of the ocean. So the waves of the sea, the highs and lows, right? Think about how the water brings us things. The tide will bring us things, will wash things ashore. So you are receiving. There's a universal flow that's coming your way. There's life that's coming your way. There's abundance that's coming your way. And you need to trust in the cycles and trust in that process, my darlings. Again, check out your moon sign and rising sign. You may need a private reading. I'm more than happy to do that. There's a link in the Calendly description to schedule. The prices, everything is there. And those of you who like to have a message in between the weekly forecasts, check out the daily card of the day in the Pick a Card game on Facebook and Instagram, Amethyst Angellight. I'm on there every single day posting cards and messages, so take advantage of that as well. I thank you so very much for watching, my dears. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. You got the Scorpio. Don't get discouraged, man. You guys are so close. Don't give up. You're almost there. Take care.